For dementia residents transitioning into dementia units, activities are a very important part of this. Now, activities are provided at dementia units, at least here in New Zealand, in a generalised sense, but it's the individualised activities that are really important, and the person needs resources for that to be able to continue that activity. So, for example, if your parent has always enjoyed reading the newspaper, take note they are not provided at dementia units, only one copy for 30 people that the activity coordinator reads out. There's no access to an individual paper. So the subscription needs to be carried on so your parent can have that in the dementia unit, and their subscription glasses need to be kept up to date and cleaned. So to make sure that all that is in place so they can continue the activity of newspaper reading that they have always enjoyed. Now, to start with, it takes a bit getting everything in place, and of course things can get lost and go missing, like glasses, but staff make a big effort for this not to happen. At night, glasses and hearing aids are always put away in private behind the nurse's station, desk and or office, and then brought out each morning, often a cord around the neck to make sure they don't get taken off and misplaced. And it's more hearing aids actually that tend to go missing because they're so tiny and small rather than glasses. But it is so important if the person can have prescription glasses for reading, for the newspaper, and magazines as well. Very important for women. Women love Women's Weekly, Women's Day, especially the generation in their 80s and 90s. They've read it all their lives. They're familiar with it. It's got beautiful memories. They love the royal family, anything to do with it. So keeping that subscription going, and then it's something nice for them to look forward to and enjoy each week. A lovely new fresh magazine being delivered, fabulous, as is the daily newspaper. That's a total privilege in the dementia unit, having your own newspaper to read each day. But really it's a social justice issue as well. These people do deserve this, and it keeps their cognition going. It's interesting for them, it's entertaining, it fills in the time in a positive way. It covers so many bases. Now, in terms of other activities, jigsaw puzzles are really quite popular in dementia units. And even dementia residents who haven't done jigsaw puzzles before often end up enjoying this activity. So don't dismiss that. Colouring in, some dementia residents really enjoy, especially the complex scenes, animals of Africa or pictures of the world or whatever. And same with the jigsaw puzzles. If it has an interesting theme in context of what the dementia resident enjoys. So if they enjoy horse racing, then if the jigsaw puzzle is of a racehorse, they're going to be much more interested in that than if it's a cottage garden and they don't like gardening. But for a lady that loves gardening, of course she'll love anything to do with the seaside, beach, park, lovely flowers, etc. So keep it in theme with what they enjoy. And storage and accessibility, of course, is another thing, because things do get lost. But make it an accessible view. So get a little bookcase. That's the really ideal item in a dementia residence room. A small bookcase so everything's seen easily. Activities in plastic containers so they can be seen through as to what it is. And have the jigsaw puzzles, the colouring in, the pencils, the pens, whatever it is they're doing, all labelled and nicely stacked, and then it's all set up ready to go each day for the person. Actually, in the unit I worked at, there was one particular resident and her daughter went to great lengths. Actually, there were 2 or 3, but this one particular resident, her daughter went to great lengths straight off the bat. Bookcase, plastic containers, all the activities. Every morning, her mother would come out with her little plastic container, and she'd spend all day at the dining table in the kitchen, either colouring in or jigsaw puzzles. She had it all there. It was a great activity, and it really settled her down because she was quite irate when she first came in, but those activities really worked well for her. Now, of course, you know, the big activity, the big positive activity for all dementia residents is walking outside. If they're independent and able to walk, lots of good, brisk, long walks, either around the retirement village complex or even better, excuse me, parks and gardens that they used to love going to with you. Give them treats, coffees, ice creams, fish and chips, whatever. You know, just make sure that they get those good quality experiences. And if they can't walk in a wheelchair, usually they can walk for some distance though, because they have to be independent in their walking and transfers to live in a dementia unit. Otherwise they will be in the hospital or advanced care. So all this and more in the two books, The Resident's Voice and The Resident's Rise, both from a dementia unit on Amazon, in the description below. And thank you for your likes and support, and please subscribe. Thanks.